Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zogi and I'm a Gemini, which is why this channel is called Zogi the Gemini. So before we start, Happy New Year once again. Welcome to 2023. We made the BITCHs. Anyways, so the title of this video is quite out there, right? And this is my version of what I would have told my younger self, or advice I would have given to my teenage self, or however you want to spin that kind of topic. There is a number of things that I wish I could tell my younger self, and things that held me back for so many years. And I will be lying if I'm like, I'm done with them, I'm like different now. They still kind of impact me in some ways right now, but nonetheless, if you want to know what these are and if you feel like you will relate with it, then make sure you stay tuned. And as I always say, courtesy demands that you like, comment and subscribe. And let me not talk too much just yet. Let's get into the video. So I've been meaning to do this video for quite some time now, because it's like, if I'm being honest, it's quite a sensitive thing, because I'm not someone that lives with regrets. I'm not someone that says, oh, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that, because I feel like for me, the key things I've always wanted to do, I've done it, or I'm doing it. Like YouTube is one of them, and even the career I'm in is also one of them. But I go for it when it comes to big things, but there is some small things where I wish I wish I didn't take that approach. And for me, it's like recognizing where all of it came from. Like, why did I not do it? I knew the impacts of not doing it, but so many things were holding me back for so long that, do you know what I mean? It was like keeping me in a bondage. If I'm being honest with myself, one of the first thing I wish I could tell my younger self is, you are more than just one thing. Now, I've titled this video what I would tell my fat, dark and tall younger self. And the reason why I've used those three adjectives, I don't even know if the adjectives, I wasn't that great at English, but the reason why I chose those three things is that's how I saw myself when I was younger. Fat, dark and tall. And that from primary school, secondary school, less in college and less in uni. So when I say my younger self, I'll probably say when I was 16 or 15, because I feel like in college I kind of changed a bit. That's when the maturity started. That's why I started breaking out of my shell a bit. But if we go back to secondary school, Zogi, like, it was a mixture of how I viewed myself, but that's the only way I could view. I feel like the way people moved, especially, as I said it before, I'm not going to talk too much, but I told you guys, growing up fat in South London is character building, because it's a stressful situation. But because people kept like, oh, that's the fat girl, oh no, she's dark, or no, she's proper tall, do you get what I mean? That's how I took those like characteristics, which are all relevant, they're all true. I am dark, I am fat, I am tall, but that's not just who I am. Do you get what I mean? So I guess I just wish I knew I was more than that. I knew that I wasn't dumb, but I didn't really think I was very smart. But like, there were so many other attributes of mine that I neglected so much, because it's like I just had to keep remembering or keep being reminded of the tallness or the fatness or the darkness. Like, those were the main things that ran through my mind, and that's how it kind of builded my character. It builded my personality. My personality literally was like defending, like, yeah, I'm dark, but I'm fat, but I'm pretty, I'm tall, but do you get what I mean? Like, there's a defense mechanism having to be built for every single one of them. But I wish I could tell myself, yeah, okay, cool. If I now say to my younger self, people are not going to call you that, people are not going to try and bully you for that, people are not going to try and get onto you for that, I'll be lying to her. And I'll even be lying to any young person watching this. People will try. People will try. There is always miserable people in this world that will always try and gun for you. So, I know from when I was young, and I know for now, people will continuously use their insecurities, use their unhappiness, and try and push it onto you, because they see you as an easy target and eventually see you as a prey. But I just wish I knew that, cool, these people want to label me as all of these things, but I can't let their labels be my own label. Even if the whole world is against me, I can't be against myself. And I wish I could tell young Zoe that, like, even if the world gets onto you, even if the world tries to make you feel like you're just like the fat friend, or you're just the funny one, or the funny fat girl, or you're just this, that, you are more than just that. You are more than the 3 things I've listed. There's so many good attributes of you, and I just needed to see that. Like, I'm charismatic, I'm energetic, I'm fun, I'm loyal. Do you get what I mean? I'm loyal. There's so many things that are a component of me that I wasn't able to tap into. Even my creativeness. I would say I'm a creative person. Like, most of my videos I do now, obviously I know I'm much younger, but I feel like I've always had the ability to kind of like articulate myself, and I've always been wiser than my years. Like, the people I was in school with were dum-dums. I can't lie to you. Obviously there was the smart people, but majority of them were dum-dums. I can't even lie. I'm so sorry. Like, I am so sorry. But I always viewed society different, but I never allowed myself to tap into my creativity or tap into my smartness or really utilize it, because I'm just like, well, I've been labeled, so there's no point trying to fight these labels. There's no point trying to do anything other than these labels, because basically these are the labels that have been given to me. So it's just best for me to just adhere to it and not do too much. So definitely, if I could speak to my younger self, and if you're someone that you look like me, or you sound like me, or you think that we have things in common and you're younger than me, please understand that you are more than just labels that people place onto you. The reality of the situation is that you shouldn't even label yourself, in as much as you can't even label. Do you know how many things we have going on? Do you know how complex human beings are, even how complex the human brain is, that you now want to boil it down to just 2 things? Even if the dum-dums, yeah, want to label you with 1 thing, or just label you fat or tall or just whatever, yeah, you're more than that. And I feel like the first point and the second point are very much interlinked with each other. The second point is, no matter what you do, and I've already known this with age, do you know what I mean? Because I told you before that when I was younger, yeah, I just saw like tunnel vision of, obviously based off my experience, and I guess that's everyone, do you know what I mean? Your experience dictates how you perceive society, but I never realized that no matter what you do, people will always have things to say. No matter what you do, whether you're winning, you're losing, you're stagnating, you're going backwards, you're going forward, people will always have things to say. Now, I'm not even talking about size, I'm just talking about in general. Even if you don't feel like, oh, your career is progressing enough, or you don't go to uni the time when you're supposed to go to uni, or you don't want to go uni, or you don't want to do certain things, or you don't want to work in certain things, or you don't want to go out with this person, or you haven't dated yet, or you haven't had your first boyfriend yet, people are always going to talk. If you think, yeah, just doing that one thing, fixing that one thing will stop people from ever saying things to you, you are delusional. And I wish I could say this to Zoe. I wish I could tell her, if you think just doing one thing, because I remember I'll be on such yo-yo diets. Obviously I've gone fat over the years, but I'll be on such like yo-yo diets, going through such like madness to try and lose weight, yeah. And I'll be like, and I'll be like, once I lose weight, when I'm skinny, people are not going to have anything to say to me. Reality is they're always going to have things to say. I guess that ties in perfectly with the whole notion of people pleasing, trying to make people like you. And I feel like I did have an element of that, because I felt like when I was young I didn't have a lot going for me. Like, as I said before, they had already branded me as the fat, dark, tall girl. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just those 3 things. So I would always try and use humor, or sometimes, or like make jokes, and I still do it. It's so mad, I still do it. You will notice, yeah, when I do a video, I always like make a joke out of myself. And really and truly, it's a defense mechanism or trauma response, actually, because I'm not defending myself. I guess I feel like before you say it, I'll say it. Do you get what I mean? Before you get onto me, I'll get onto me. Before you try gun for me, I'll gun for myself, when really and truly that wasn't even going to be the case. But I'll always do it. Like, I'll always take the piss out of myself. I'll always make a joke about myself so that I don't feel as hurt when people do it. Do you get what I mean? And very much so, that's how my childhood was. Like, I'll take a joke at myself. I was like very much like, I need to shine some ways. Obviously these people have branded me as all these things, and to be honest, that is who I am, and that's all I am. So how can I like please these people to kind of view me in a different way. I just wish I could tell her at 15, and I'm really specific because I've been through things in life, as we all have, but I really think I could go back to the age of 15, like no other age, 15, and say people are going to talk regardless of what you do, no matter what extent you go to try and like please them, or trying to fit into their notion of a good person or a funny person or someone that they would want to be friends with. They are always going to have something to say to you, because it's not a you problem, it's a them problem. And that's the biggest thing I never knew when I was younger. I thought everything was me. Like I was the problem because I'm fat, because I'm dark, because I'm tall, because I'm this, I'm that, I'm not this, I'm not that. So I thought it was a me. I never identified that is not a me problem, it's a them problem. Because even if I am fat, even if I am tall, even if I am dark, what's that got to do with you? No, but how is that impacting your life? Me being these things, how is it actually, like, how am I hurting you by being these things? So it's only now I know that it was never a me problem. Like highlighting, actually defining, always talking and always having to like defend myself or try and find ways for them to like me. It was never a me problem, it was a them problem. So that's definitely one of the second things that I'll tell her. Another thing, yeah, and this is actually funny enough, not necessarily 15-year-old me, but maybe 18, 19. What I would say, the third thing I would say I wish I could tell younger Zoe is move on from the past and be happy. I've just spent the whole duration of this video so far talking about younger me and like things I went through, and even from the energy I'm even saying it as, you already know that I'm very passionate. You already know that I'm very passionate about it. And now I can talk about it in like reflection and retrospect. But as of then, all of the things I had gone through consumed me. And I'm talking about like uni times. Now, I went through primary school and secondary school. It's not like I was bullied, but it's like people always like remind me of the three things that they saw me as. So when I'll go past a group of boys, especially black boys, sorry, I'm waiting for one of them to make a joke out of me. Do you get it? I'm waiting for one of them to try and get onto me. When I go past a group of girls, I'm waiting for them to like be staring at me or be snickering or make like a slight, they never really make a sly comment, but do you know what I mean? I'm waiting for something. And I spent a good amount of university time kind of like, it didn't impact me from making friends, but it definitely impacted my ability to like merge into certain groups because I was just on edge. Like, do you get what I mean? So I had just gone through, like, college was actually okay, but regardless, like, I feel like the thing with trauma, yeah, something traumatic can happen to you and it may not impact you today, it may not impact you tomorrow, it may not impact you next year. It can actually impact you, I don't know what can trigger it, but it can impact you like 5 years down the line. And really and truly, like, okay, I was in college for 2 years, yeah, and the main things in terms of what I feel like was traumatic in secondary school was like around year 9 to year 10, really, like so that's only 2 years. So it's only till I got to uni that I really was on edge, like, oh, they're gonna try to take the piss out of me. And it's not even just secondary school, it's just like living in South London and growing up in South London in general. So around that age, like 3 years down the line, that's when it really started hitting me. But at that point, I just couldn't just let go. Alright, cool, messed up things has happened to you. People have said a madness to you. People have tried you. People have tried to bully you. People have tried so many things, but let it go. I just wish I could tell my younger self that let it go. It has happened. Do you get what I mean? You learn from me, you understand it, and you move on from me. And if it's not my fault, if it had nothing to do, let it go. Because the problem with not letting go of certain things, yeah, it impacts your ability to be happy. It impacts your ability to actually live, like, you know, the ones where it's like you're really embracing life. It impacts my ability to embrace life for what it is. And those are like, you know, university days are where people say that's your prime days. That's when you can do a madness and you can get away with it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed uni. I got drunk. I done a mad. I enjoyed uni, yeah. But just at the back of my mind, it was always there. And I will avoid certain like ACS or the African Caribbean Society. There's like a large group of black people. I will avoid such situations, not all the time, but majority of the time. I'll avoid being friends with certain people because I feel like I'm not going to put myself in a position where you feel like you can get onto me, or you're going to try, or like I think you'll be nice to me, but really you're doing it as a joke with your boys. Do you get what I mean? So I just wish that, and the truth is, even the people I met, no one tried to do that to me in uni. No one, not really. Like the few stairs here and there, but no girl group, no guy group ever tried to do it. And it's like I just couldn't let go. I just couldn't, like, I'm sure some people, especially the guys, thought I was weird because I would just not talk to them. Like, screw face, like, do you know what I mean? There's all these coping mechanisms, all these defense mechanisms that I built over the years, that I had to build to try and make myself some type of warrior, to try and fight. It's not everyday fight. Sometimes peace, love and blessing. Sometimes drink your cheap alcohol, yeah? Do a little 1-2 dance to Wizkid and just keep it pushing. So I would tell myself, it has happened. Don't let it, like, you're giving them too much power. You're giving these people too much power by letting it still affect you how many years later. So that's definitely the third thing I will tell myself. The last thing I would say, and let me know if you guys relate to this, one thing I could never do is admit when I was wrong. Me could not. Get somebody else to do it. That's literally me. You know the woman that said, get somebody else to do it. That was me. I could not admit when I was wrong. Both to my family, both to my friends, both in general. I could not admit when I was wrong. Because if we use, basically what I said before, a lot of times I felt like, oh, I was wrong, So I'm like, no, it's not my fault because like I was always justifying why it was never my fault, or why, you know, I wasn't to blame. I could not admit when I was wrong for nada. Nor was I gonna say sorry. I was strong. I was wrong and strong. Proud. Wrong and strong, and that definitely impacted a relationship and a few friendships. 100%. Like, that was the destruction of both, like a relationship and a few friendships that I had even known a couple of these people from secondary school, like way back, or even around my area, like way back, but I couldn't admit that I was wrong. I refused to admit that I was wrong. So I wish I could just tell younger me that you think you're winning a battle. Yeah, you're winning a battle by saying, like, you're not gonna admit. You feel like, oh, you got the one up because you didn't have to say sorry, or you didn't have to admit fault, but you didn't win the war. You lost the friendship. So you may have won the battle, you may have won the argument, you may feel like, oh yeah, like obviously I wasn't wrong, so I'm not gonna say sorry, or I'm not gonna acknowledge anything, they're just chatting whatever, they're just being emotional. But you lost something that could have been a lifetime, all because you let your pride overshadow, own up to a mistake and say, yeah, I was wrong, like, I'm sorry, how do we move past this? Do you know what I mean? But anyways, it's not actually everything. Some things I just won't put on the internet, what I wish I could tell my younger self. Those are more like personal kind of things. Like, all of this is personal, but very personal things I would tell my younger self. But let me know what you guys think down below. Like, from what I've said, if given a chance, what do you think you would tell your younger self? Like, what is the 3 key advice that you would tell your younger self? And I'm hoping that a number of you guys share what you would tell your younger self, so that if I have any young audience and anyone that's in college or uni that's watching me, they can like learn from it and actually take it on, especially if it's something that they're doing now or they're not doing. Anyways, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.